Hello, I'm Alexander, and today we will look at THIEAUDIO Hype 2 IEM. I would like to thank Linsol for providing a sample for this review. I'm not paid to make this review or offer any specific opinions about this product, and all thoughts expressed in this review are my own. Hype 2 is a hybrid IEM that features 4 drivers per side, 2 10mm dynamic drivers and 2 balanced armatures, which are the latest generation of drivers from Sonyon. The dynamic drivers are working in a special configuration called Impact 2. This configuration with its isobaric design enhances the bass response and increases its texture. Besides that, the IEMs feature a 3D printed resin shells, detachable cable and have a balanced sound signature with a well-defined bass boost. Hype 2 arrived in a large beautiful carton box with a sleeve. On the front of the sleeve there's a branding and illustration of the IEM, and on the back of the sleeve there's a company information. Brief specifications including the driver types can be also found on the side of the sleeve. Inside the sleeve there's a black box. In this box we have THIEAUDIO Hype 2 IEMs, detachable 0.78mm 2-pin cable, 3 pairs of silicone ear tips, 3 pairs of foam ear tips, cleaning cloth, carrying case and a warranty card. Impedance of Hype 2 is 25 ohms, sensitivity is 108 dB. Now let's talk about design and build. Hype 2 is available in 2 different color schemes, purple and blue. My sample is a blue one and this color scheme is called Indigo. Besides excellent tuning, the THIEAUDIO IEMs are famous for visual aesthetics, and it's good to see that Hype 2 carries the same DNA. The shells are made out of medical grade resin and the color patterns looks mesmerizing. The shells are glossy, but surprisingly they don't catch the fingerprints too easily. Each faceplate is individually decorated and coated and it looks great. Both faceplates carry the THIEAUDIO logo and there is a channel indication marks on the inside part of the shell, along with the model name. The shells have one vent hole located on the edge of the shell and it's covered with a mesh. I'd say it's quite an unusual placement, but I am sure that it has some technical research behind it. The nozzles are made from metal, they are 5.4mm in diameter and are on a shorter side. There is a metal mesh at the end of each nozzle and a lip that helps with ear tip retainment. Overall, the Hype 2's design and build are very good. They are not only aesthetically pleasing but also practical and durable. Now a couple of words about fit and comfort. The IEM shells are well polished and there are no sharp edges here. The shells are large but have a very natural and ergonomic shape. In my case, the fit was excellent, but if you have small ears, you may struggle with the fit. I also had no issues with the stock ear tips and I was able to reach a good fit and seal instantly, which is a huge plus for me. I have been using Hype 2 for extended periods, and as the fit was fantastic in my case, I never experienced any discomfort. In terms of passive noise isolation, the Hype 2 also performs well. It effectively blocks out most of the outside noise, allowing you to fully immerse yourself in your music without the need to turn the volume too high. The cable that comes with this IEM is 1.2 meters long. It has a straight 3.5mm connector on one end and 2 0.78mm 2-pin connectors on the other end. If I'm not mistaken, this is a THIEAUDIO EST5N OCC silver-plated cable that can be purchased separately for $69 and if so, THIEAUDIO was quite generous to include it with the Hype 2. The cable connectors have no usual letter channel indication, however, the base on the right connector is red, so this helps with the channel navigation a bit. Still, I prefer the connectors to have color markings on the side too for more convenient channel navigation. The cable has a metal splitter that works well too, soft pre-molded ear hooks and a beautiful metal chin slider. Overall, I think this cable is pretty good. It's soft and is low in microphonics. The pre-molded ear hooks are soft too and it helps to achieve a relaxed fit with this IEM. Now let's talk about the sound. Please note that all sound impressions that I'm sharing on my channel are completely subjective, so please take them with a grain of salt. At 25 ohms of impedance and 108 dB of sensitivity, Hype 2 is easy to drive, and I had no issues driving it from my Samsung Galaxy S10. It also won't benefit much from a more powerful source, but using it with a quality source can have a positive impact on the sound too. The tuning is very engaging, the sub-bass is boosted, the mid-range is quite flat, and then you get a good treble extension too. This results in a very lively and bass-heavy presentation that is an absolute joy to listen to. The addition of a second 10mm dynamic driver significantly enhances the power of the bass, and THIEAUDIO's in-house isobaric chamber design helps to keep the bass response and pressure constant. As a result, the bass is rich, heavy, and punchy. The sub-bass extension is excellent, it goes quite deep, and it has a good authority and rumble. The mid-bass is hard-hitting too, with a solid body and good texture, resulting in excellent bass response overall. Bass details are good, it's fast, textured, and well controlled. I think the bass here will please both bass heads and those who prefer some additional punch in low-end register that you can both feel and hear. The mid-range on Hype 2 is quite flat, yet it's working with the overall tuning well. Despite massive bass, there's almost no bass bleed into mid-range, making it a bit sterile and dry, though it still sounds full and engaging. Vocals and instruments, while not being upfront, have a good note weight and there's enough body. Lower mids don't sound thin, which is great, and upper mids are detailed as well. Hype 2 truly shines in its reproduction of vocals, as the mids are clear and detailed. This is especially appreciated when listening to acoustic tracks or vocal-centric genres. Despite not being too upfront, on many tracks I got the feeling the artist was right in front of me, delivering quite an emotional vocal performance. The treble extension of Hype 2 is good and it's very coherent, though it's still a bit rounded. While it's not the most detailed and airy treble I came across in IEMs, it still brings a good amount of energy to the table, and it was never harsh, intrusive or grainy, no matter what music I was throwing at this IEM. The details and micro details, while not class leading, still provide a lot of information. However, if you seek a very open, airy and analytical treble, you may be a bit disappointed. The treble on Hype 2 was particularly enjoyable when listening to genres like rock or EDM, where the percussions, cymbals and synth shine with life and precision. The soundstage is average in width, it's not too deep, but surprisingly quite tall. This gives Hype 2 an open feeling and a spacious presentation, as each instrument breathes easily, creating a good three-dimensional sonic landscape. I enjoyed Hype 2 both listening to my music and playing games, and I must admit, it rendered a gaming sound landscape with a lot of dynamics and sonic realism. The imaging is excellent, offering a good sense of distance, and the resolution and instrument separation, while not class leading, still brought all the necessary details in my music to light. Let's summarize. The Hype 2 has made its way into the sub-$300 category with a compelling promise of an immersive sonic experience, and I need to say that Hype 2 fully lives up to their name. From the moment I unboxed it and did my initial tests, I already knew it was a stellar addition to the world of IEMs in this price bracket. At the time of making this review, I already put more than 100 hours into them, and my initial feelings had only changed for the better. Pros: excellent design and solid build, good driver coherency, amazing bass response with good control, flat yet detailed mid-range, rounded treble extension with lot of sonic information, great technical abilities for the price, excellent stock cable and a large storage case. Cons: I don't think this IEM has any real cons. But if you want me to be really picky, I'd say that treble extension could benefit from a pinch of more energy and texture. In my opinion, the Hype 2 is a combination of great design, excellent fit, and most importantly, outstanding sound quality. All of this makes it a standout product in its price range. Whether you are an audiophile seeking an affordable yet great sounding option, or a casual listener looking for an upgrade, I can easily recommend this pair of hybrid IEMs. Alright guys, that's all from me for today, and I hope that you enjoyed this review. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to my channel and click the bell icon to receive new video updates. See you in the next episode. Goodbye.